Yeah, first of all, let's congratulate John and his staff and his team. They're obviously champions. They've earned that. They've had a tremendous season, and they came out and really took it to us from the opening drive, and we could not respond at all there in the first half. I was proud of our team trying to come back there in the second half. I thought we showed a lot of effort, a lot of fight. Disappointed, obviously, in the outcome, but I'm not disappointed in this team. We obviously fell short tonight, and anytime you have a chance to hoist a trophy, don't get to do that. It stinks because you never know when you get back. But this group of people, group of men, we lost a lot, last year, and a lot of new faces this year, and for these group of seniors to give us an opportunity to play for a championship speaks a lot about them and their character. And disappointed we couldn't finish it and bring it home, but really proud of them and the season that they were able to have.
All right, we'll open up for questions first for our student athletes. We'll do all of our questions for our student athletes first, and we'll let them go, and then you can open up for Coach Chadwell. Any questions for our two student athletes here?
Grayson, what did you feel like you got an opportunity to play in this game, and how do you feel like your preparation was leading up to this game?
Yeah, I think our preparation was actually pretty good all week. By Thursday, we had a good idea that maybe I would have a chance to play. Just continuing to rehab and practice throughout the week, I was gradually getting a little bit better. Then, kind of a game time decision today, going out there, felt good in warm-up. So, I told Coach I was good to go. He gave me the go, and yeah.
Lance, I noticed you and Grayson, actually I saw you too as well. You guys kind of soaking in those moments at the end of the game, maybe even watching their fans celebrate. Was a purpose for that, or what you were feeling in that moment?
Yeah, it's just fuel, soaking it all in. Anytime you lose a game like that, it's going to affect you. I just wanted to create a mental memory in my head for, something I can lean back on for fuel. So, it hurt, and I just wanted to get a full grasp of that picture.
Hey Grayson, this is Jamal Kennedy at WCPA Montgomery. Is there anything from that Troy defense that you saw that maybe just made them stand out today, that just maybe the way that they were attacking you guys offensively?
Yeah, a lot of really good players. You guys saw that for yourself. A lot of really good players, really good coaching. I thought they had a good plan to defend us. Obviously, Carlton Marshall leading that defense for the past couple of years. He's a great player. Seems like a great leader, the way he gets those guys to rally to the football and things like that. But, all I can say is hats off to them. They played better than us today, and that's what it is.
Over in the back.
Lance, can you talk a little bit about just kind of what was breaking down there in the first half in terms of the secondary and some of those touchdowns you guys gave up early?
I would just say like an execution. We had rep things all week, and we didn't go out there and execute the way we know how. And when you don't do that, that's going to be the result. You're going to give up them explosive plays. So, that really falls on us. I thought we had a good game plan going in. Execution was poor, especially in the first half.
Hey, Grayson, obviously you're just a couple weeks removed from an injury. There was question marks if you'd play all this week. Why was it so important for you to get back into play in this game?
Yeah, when I stepped foot on the Coastal Carolina campus in 2019, it was always one of my goals to leave a champion and win a Sun Belt title. And obviously we didn't play great last week. I was out on the sideline, had to watch that, and that was tough for me. And just it's all about my brothers and my teammates. I couldn't let them down. Even if I was 50% going into the week, I was begging Coach all week to just throw me out there and let me go battle with my boys. But it's the guys and the relationships that we have in the locker room that really motivate me to go out there and go to war every day. So that's all it was, man. We didn't take full advantage of the opportunity we had tonight, but I'm grateful that I got to go out there and battle with my boys.
One here from Zoom for Grayson. Any conscious adjustments on your part made in the second half compared to the first?
Yeah, just small adjustments. I think we had a great plan in the first half, just, one out of our 11 wasn't doing his job, something like that. Just small, minute details that that we weren't taking care of. So just coaches talking to us at halftime, not any huge adjustments, just fixing some little things. And I felt like offensively we moved the ball much better in the second half and capitalized on some drives. So that was good to see.
Hey, Jamey, what you saw from the game last week at James Madison that you wanted to correct, because I know that you were pretty upset about how that game went. What was the preparation like this week in terms of preparing for this game? And did you guys feel like you corrected those issues, or were these other issues that popped their head today?
Well, you thought you corrected them, but we didn't. We didn't execute some of the things offensively there. I thought, offensively, the whole first quarter, and probably in the second quarter there, I think we were 3 and out. We didn't handle. We missed some things. We had a bad snap. We had some things. We had a penalty that set us back. But I thought the second and the second to last drive of the half and last drive of the half, we started getting some rhythm, and I thought that carried on in the second half. But we just didn't get a good enough start offensively, but obviously defensively didn't get any stops, and we put them in some situations where we could get off the field. We just gave up some big plays, gave up explosive plays, and that's a couple weeks in a row there that really got us. And I thought we had a good plan there. Lance mentioned we didn't execute some of the things. Some of the stuff we just got cracks us, and we're supposed to replace, and we didn't do it. And I don't know if that goes back to just trying to do too much or just not being locked in on every little detail. But I thought our week was good. I thought our preparation was good. I expected the team in the second half to be showed up the whole game. For whatever reason, we didn't do that.
Coach, kind of building off of his question, difference maybe in the halftime locker room compared to the JMU and this game. It seemed like you guys kind of came out with more energy opposed to last week. And
yeah, there's a lot of strong character people there, and what they were last week, I know that's not who they were, and they wanted to go down swinging. And we talked about just a defense. We got to try to lock them down, and we thought we could score enough points in the second half to try to make it a game. Obviously get picked off there at the end to make it score. But we thought if we could, we thought our plan offensively was good enough to move the ball. We fixed some things, but just couldn't get enough stops there. But I thought our guys played hard the whole game. They fought. They were fighting for each other, which was good to see. And that's who this group's been. That's who they are. I hate it that fill up short for them, because I know they really worked hard for that. And anytime you are told you're not capable of doing something, that's fuel for those guys. And we had an opportunity to do it, and fell short obviously. So I was disappointed for them, really am. But the character they showed in the second half is who they are.
Jamey, was there ever any question about not playing Grayson this week when he was medically cleared, given that, as you alluded to earlier in the week, he hadn't practiced, he really hasn't done much outside of just preparing himself mentally for that aspect, and he seemed to kind of come out a little flat, so to speak, in the first half?
Yeah, you could say he had some rust. And we were worried about that. Obviously, I knew there was going to be some. He picked it up, obviously, as we got going in the game, get a little more comfortable. The rain messed with him a little bit, wet balls and stuff. But, once we got to a certain date, once we got to a certain time frame during the week, it looked like he was making progress. So we felt pretty good once we got to about Wednesday that he was going to play. Jarrett Guest was injured prior to, so his chances of playing in this game were very nil, truthfully, and so it was going to either be Grayson or Bryce Carpenter. And Grayson was able to get healthy enough to play and wanted to battle, as he said. And we thought that in the practice that he had, we thought he did some good stuff and was ready for it. And but just when you're playing a great team in a championship game, you can't try to warm up the engine for a half. And it was too late to get it going from that standpoint. But that's part of it.
Coach, particularly in that first half, you guys struggled to guard some of Troy's wide receivers on the outside. What do you feel like led to that, and why did we see improvement in that in the second half?
Well, we knew what they were going to do. They were going to run the ball and an RPO off of it, and we knew the routes they were doing, but we just we didn't play aggressively. I thought we were timid. We weren't aggressive. I thought we came out playing really well to stop the run. I think overall they didn't run the ball overly that well, but I mean they passed it all over us, and they gave up too many explosive plays, and that's just something that we knew they were going to try to do. We thought we were ready for, but you got to execute that. You got to make some plays, and I think from the first drive, they had a big pass play. I think the very first drive where we had a guy covered on third down, and they were 5 of 11 on third down. And you're not going to win a lot of good football games when you're winning that. And so I thought we did better in the second half. Obviously, they were up there a little bit, so they changed some of their game plan too there, especially there in the fourth when they were trying to run the clock out. But we need to play the way we're capable of the whole time. The whole time. We can't have spurts. And when you have spurts against really good teams, you get beat. That's what happened.
Coach Nick Brooks at WTVY down in Dothan. This defense in the first half for Troy really kind of shut you guys out until that final drive. Where does this defense rank among defenses you've played all season?
They're really good. They're top 2, top 3. I mean, truthfully, probably top 2. I think they're good at each level, and the teams we played, and they had a good plan there, obviously, and we thought we had a good plan. We didn't execute it there in the first half, but I thought in the second half we moved it pretty well and had some chances. But what they're good at is they don't miss a lot of tackles. They make you earn everything, and they don't give up a lot of big plays, and so they're tremendous. And I've always had a lot of respect for the way they play the game, and they obviously earned this title.
Hey, Coach, Jamal Kennedy at WSFA 12 in Montgomery. Obviously, last week's loss meant that you guys wouldn't host, and Troy got to host. So I'm curious to know your thoughts on the environment that you guys played in tonight, what you thought about it.
I thought it was good. The student section hit us with a few choice drinks, said some few things toward us. And so, but that's part of being, in a college environment, and I thought it was a great environment. I don't know what the crowd was, but they seemed pretty loud. They were into it. And so I thought it was a really nice crowd for a championship game, and I wish we would have had the other way around. I wish we would have wanted to host because that can affect you. But it was Sunbelt did a great job of putting it on, and the crowd was electric. It was a lot of energy. The music they played, I thought they created a championship type environment, and I have no doubt that it bothered us a little bit, because it was a great home field advantage for them. But it was a really nice electric atmosphere, and that's what you want in a championship game.
Hey, Jamey. Obviously, with the coaching rumors and things that were kind of going on this week, do you think that affected your team's preparation? They see things on social media. They don't know what to believe. Do you think that affected prep at all, or do you think the guys kind of ignored that and just said, all right, we're just going to get ready and play this game?
I don't know the answer. I hope it didn't. I said something to them about it, during the week. There's so much access to social media. There's so many things out there, and they're young people. And they're emotional. And so I hope it didn't affect us, but I don't know the answer. And so it's easy to say, oh, it affected us, and that's the way we played. But, that's taking away credit from Troy. Troy did a great job, and they beat us.
I'd be hard-pressed if I didn't ask this question. Obviously, it's coming. Is there any talk between you and Liberty? Have you talked to Liberty about their head coaching position? Have you interviewed with Liberty at all? I
have talked to them, but I'll stick to my comment that I had. I think it was yesterday that I've not signed anything with them or anything of that nature.
So what would it take for you to
return as the head coach of Coastal Carolina if an offer is on the table from Liberty?
I think anytime you have opportunities at any other institution, you pray through it. I'm going to pray, discern the Holy Spirit. I'm a person of faith. That's important to me. And if I'm led to go somewhere else, then I'll go somewhere else. That's the way I always try to do it. I don't go for money. I don't go for anything, but where can I do? I believe that I can impact people in a positive way. That's important to me. I've been able to do it here at Coastal, and I love that, and I love our team. And so, but anytime you have any type of opportunities, you look at it and see, is there opportunity to better for your family and different things from that standpoint. So,
yeah, 11-2 and Sun Belt Conference champions. really proud of our guys for their toughness through adversity and their character all year. This bunch has earned it. They've adjusted to a lot of new things and changes that were probably uncomfortable at first, and I could not be more proud to be the head coach of the Troy Trojans and see these guys every day and get to work with them. So they've earned it, proud of them. Hats off to Coastal Carolina. Jamey has done an amazing job, and Grayson McCall, man, what do you say? Like, that kid's gritty, he's tough, he's a competitor. I got the utmost respect for him battling and just what he's about. That's what college football is about, is guys like that. So excited to be conference champions and excited to do it with these guys right here.
All right, open up now for questions for our student athletes.
Rajay, you said when you got here the goal was to get a ring. So to have your biggest game of the year and to be able to accomplish that goal, how's it feel?
I got to give credit to, Coach Sumrall, the whole staff, the guy, of course, the gunslinger right here, Gunner himself. Like, I came in from the jump just saying that, like this is a championship team. Like, these guys been working hard, and for us to accomplish this, at home, it's a big thing. So I want to just give credit to all the guys on the offense.
Gunner, what was going right, especially in that first half for you guys?
I think we had a really good plan for them, and obviously the O-line blocked really well, receivers caught really well, and it just seemed like everything was going right for us. And I think when we came out, first drive, we got a field goal. Next drive, we scored. I think momentum was on our side, and we just kept on rolling with it.
Rajay, can you talk about the one-handed catch? And Gunner, did you see him make the catch? Because I think you got hit pretty hard on that.
You want to go first?
Yeah, on the one-handed catch, I didn't get hit that hard, but when I threw it, I thought I overthrew it. So I kind of I got hit a little bit, and I turned around, and I heard the crowd go like, "Oh!" And then when I turned back around, Rajay was running, and I was like, "No way!" And then I saw the replay. I was like, "Holy crap! He made a one-handed catch!" So that was awesome.
Yes, sir. And then piggy off that, I knew how we've been watching film. The safety was gonna give me inside leverage, and so I just set him up, just ran outside and just pressed it outside and just cut underneath. I actually didn't see Gunner throw the ball, which is crazy. And so I just looked up and the ball just fell in my hand. Honestly, I just caught the ball.
For both players, Rajay, you obviously had a career high today, and Gunner, you had one of the best games of your career. How does it feel just to have a career day in a game like this in front of the crowd and have your fingerprints on this championship game?
Go ahead, Raj.
For this being the biggest game, Coach Sumrall tell us is that don't make it the game bigger than what it is, and so we just prepare it pretty much the whole week as it is another game, And these guys, if you look at the scores from the past 3 years, it's always been a one-score game. And so we knew coming into this game, the emotions was going to be high. And, for me to have a game like this, it wasn't planned. Nobody plans to have, a breakout like that. But, like I said, I got to give credit to him, Coach Craddock, and all the old staff, and, this guy next to us, too, the GOAT, this guy right here.
Yeah, I think that what Coach Pop and Coach Craddock and one of our O-linemen, Austin Stidham, senior O-lineman, he's been preaching all year, play your best ball when it matters the most. And I think tonight it mattered the most. And like Coach Summer, even though after that statement, Coach Summer always preaches, do your job. I saw you got to be a superhero. You just got to do your job. And I think that's what we did tonight. Everybody did their job, and we played to our ability, and that's what got us to win.
Gunner, at times this year, the running game has had to carry you guys, and at times you've had to take a back seat to that strong running attack, but today you stepped up in a big moment and kind of carried them when Coastal did a nice job. How big of a performance was that for you personally to be able to step up and carry this team in a big game?
Yeah, that's what I don't care if I have to hand the ball off 45 times in a game. Whatever it takes to win, I'm going to do it. So if it's throwing the ball, running the ball, whatever it is, I'm just going to do whatever it takes to win, and that's what I'll always do. That's just who I am, and I'm thankful for the way it turned out tonight. But even if it would have been the other way around, where we handed it off 30 times to Kamani and DK, I'm fine whatever outcome it is, as long as we're winning the game.
Hey, Gunner. Jamal Kennedy, WSFA in Montgomery. For you personally, to have that first half like you've had overall for the team, that was the best first half you guys have had all season. But for you, what did you see when you were making, as those throws are being made? Did you see anything on the field? Did you maybe feel a little bit different today when you woke up, just that you felt confident?
Yeah, I felt really confident in the play. Not that we did anything different. We prepared the same way we do every week, but Coach Craddock challenged us to score at least 21 points in the first half, and we obviously scored more than that. But no, we stuck to the plan, and I prepared well, and we knew that their safeties were going to be hard fit, and they're going to stop. Kamani's rushed for 200 yards the past 2 weeks, so we knew their safeties were going to be down tight, trying to stop the run. So I think that just really opened up the pass game for us.
Nick Brooks, WTVY down in Dothan. Gunner, just the first quarter for you, I think you had 160 yards around passing. You seem to be gelling with your receivers on the first 3 drives. Just kind of talk about just being able to do that in such a high-intensity game like this one.
Yeah, well, I think the first pass to DeAndre, I think that really set the tone because he caught a ball and made people miss. And then after that, the back shoulder to Tez really just kept us going. And then after that, it just kept on flowing. But the O-line, they blocked great all night. Rajay caught balls, Deshaun Stoudemire, Tez. They all caught balls, and we just kept it rolling all night.
Rajay, I asked Coastal's coach about the environment tonight, and he said that it definitely affected the way that they were able to play or maybe not play. For you, what did you feel from the crowd, the student section, the energy inside the stadium?
This probably like for our student section is probably I would say since I've been here is probably our best turnout, and we've been asking them to pack the vet, and shout out to the AD and the media staff putting it out there, emails and stuff. So the environment was definitely jumping today. So I gotta say I love the vet. I ain't gonna lie.
Gunner, same question for you. What do you think about the environment tonight?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think it's the loudest I've ever heard the stadium. I've been here for 5 years. It was definitely the loudest I've ever heard it, and that's just a props to the students for coming out and supporting, and we really appreciate them. Like Rajay said, we appreciate the athletic department for putting it out there, for all the ticket sale and everything. We really appreciate them, and that was just awesome tonight.
Yeah, they can do what I do, man. They can see all of us.
All right, so just for the student athletes, questions.
Well, guys, congratulations. Brianna Jones, WTVY in Dothan. Obviously, you're soaking in this moment, but you guys still have a bowl game to play. So how do you enjoy this moment, but also keep your mind set on what's to come?
Put a young buck like that. Come on, guys, you go.
We look forward to the bowl game, but I just want to celebrate with this team. We've had to overcome so much adversity over, these long stretch of years. So, I'm glad, we can just put this one to bed. And when we get our bowl game, hopefully we'll see who we play. Hey, they're next up.
Hey, Craig Stevenson, AL.com. For all 3 guys, what'd you guys do against McCall to kind of keep him bottled up early? And secondly, what'd you think when you saw the goalpost come down?
Basically, with the pass rush, we always Coach E always coaches level rushes, keep him contained, and if he does step up in the pocket, we can swim back inside. Coach Wood called a great game, and when the goalpost came down, I was like, I only saw that in the videos that they always showed after the big win early in 2000, but it was crazy.
Oh yeah, but Grace McCall, yeah, he's definitely a good player, but I had no doubt in my mind that our defensive lineman could contain him. That's really all I have to say about that.
Enjoying your cupcake.
Yeah, he making fun of me, man. I'm hungry. I just played a game. All right. But no, like Marshall said, the D-line did a great job. Everybody, man, that's good. Shout out Miss Allison. But no, everybody, it was alignment assignment football from beginning to end, and we did a good job, especially in the first half. We slacked off a little bit in the second half, which we need to clean up. It's more of just missed tackles and stuff like that we definitely need to clean up. But like everybody said, Coach called a great game, and the goalpost thing, probably would be one of the coolest memories I'll ever have here. So that was awesome to me. But I don't know how we're paying for that because I'm not dealing with none of that.
Commissioner Gill said this game was run by the conference, so I think.
Oh yeah, they got.
We got some insurance.
That sounds perfect.
I better call Geico or something.
Damn.
One in the back there.
All right, for Carlton, just the defense there, that fourth down stop in the first half. I want to ask how big that was, if it was a momentum changer, because, that was a big stop to get the ball back on your side of the field there.
Oh, yes, sir. Actually, before the game, actually a few days before the game, I always tell this one young linebacker, Jordan Stringer, we call him J-Rock. Once we get that first fourth down stop, that's when everything just going to light up. And, yeah, of course that happened. So, we're just glad to get this down and to get this win in our belt. Yeah, well, it's on for the next one.
Carlton, last game in the vet to get a ring and then also break the Troy tackle record. How's it feel?
Don't make me cry. It feels great. I don't think it has really hit me yet that I could it's going to be one of my last times, sharing the field with these guys. I'm just trying to soak it all in. And, when I lay down my head at the bed, like on my pillow, I think I'll be satisfied.
Any final questions? No.
Guys, at times this year, you guys have carried this team defensively. How nice was it to see your offense have such a big performance in today's game?
We always knew they had it in them. We believe in our offense from day one. At the beginning of the season, they might have struggled at times, but it doesn't matter. It's a team game. We win and lose as a team. So, man, it was awesome to see them as successful as they were tonight, and they deserve that because they worked for it. They put in so much time and effort for it, and I'm so proud of them. I'm extremely proud of them. All those older guys, Jake, Stidham, Gunner, Rajay. I wish I could name them all, but it would be too long, and that's boring. But they were just amazing, man. Amazing.
KJ, this question also for you because you are having your cake and eating it too. I got a cupcake in a cup. But you've stepped up tremendously as a leader on this team. And what are some things that you hope that the Troy supporters or fans or anyone who watches can just take away from your characteristic as a player?
Just there's a lot of adversity that I'm going through, and I just want everybody to know that you can lean on somebody like I leaned on this guy. Like, he got me through a lot of stuff, and it's okay to lean on somebody or whatever. And just fight through adversity because you come out a better man. Like, I've came out and I have two beautiful daughters that are my entire world, and all that adversity is pushed me to be the best man, the best father, the best boyfriend or husband that I can possibly be. So just keep fighting through adversity. Yes, it sucks at sometimes, but once you get over that, man, it's the best feeling in the world. And that just goes with the game of football itself. So.
Coach, in that first half, just the deep passing game, the max protection play action where you have all those guys on the line of scrimmage blocking and just those two-man route concepts working so well for you. Is that something you anticipated working well for this offense to open up this game and in this game? And can you just talk about the execution from the O-line, the tight ends, the running backs in pass protection, and then Gunner finding those targets and hitting them deep for those big plays?
That's a really good question. Early in the year, we were throwing the ball with a lot of success off of our run actions. Really didn't run the ball very well early in the year. We were, I think, top 10 in the country in passing yards per game the first part of the year. And sometimes you have to embrace what you do well and not try to force things that you're not comfortable with. As the year went, we got much better running the football. I think we had 6 straight games of 100 yards rushing and a couple of games where we had like 250. We felt like the way people had played us the last couple of weeks was they were starting to hug the line of scrimmage and put numbers in the box and try to limit Kamani and DK in the run game. And to be quite honest with you, Louisiana Monroe game and the Ark State game, the last couple of conference games, we had more shots down the field designed for the game, but then we just kind of turned it into a ground and pound game, and we rushed for like 250 in both those games. And in the fourth quarter of both those games, I was on the headset telling the offensive staff, I don't want to see the ball thrown. Coming into tonight, we had a pretty good feeling they were going to load the box. And so we needed to throw the ball on early downs, 1st and 10, P and 10, 2nd normal, to take shots off the run game to set things up. And, you have to be able to adapt to what people are trying to make you, what they're trying to take away from you.
You said we haven't seen the best game from you guys. Do you think this was the most complete game so far?
It's the best start. I didn't like the way we played defense in the second half. I mean, I'm going to celebrate tonight, don't get me wrong. But when I watch the tape, I'm not going to watch it tonight. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. But when I watch the tape tomorrow, I was not very pleased with how he tackled the ball in the second half. We did some things schematically and structurally when we were up 31-0 to make sure we kept the ball in front of us. Don't give up a cheap one, because they tried a couple of trick plays and shot plays. But I didn't like the way we tackled the ball in the second half at all, to be quite honest with you. I thought we got very loose, sloppy in technique. We're lunging and leaving our feet a lot, not wrapping arms with our eyes up and running our feet through contact. We'll celebrate tonight, and we'll get back to work at that whenever we start practice again. But it was the best start we've had all year. It really was. I mean, I was proud to go, look, that's a great football team we just played, like a really good team. And Jamey's a great coach and a great staff, and they got phenomenal players. I mean, Grayson McCall is as good of a quarterback as you're going to find in college football. And I did not foresee us being up 31-0 at any point. I didn't see that coming in the game.
Describe your feelings on the scene after the game, because I've never seen anything like that here. I know you're a look-ahead guy, but could you just take in and soak in that moment?
Yeah, I've only been last year at Kentucky we beat Florida, and it felt like that. Citrus Bowl win maybe felt kind of like that, but that was as good of a feeling as I've ever had after a game. And it really, I'm just so proud of these kids. That's what the best part of it is, because these kids have worked. I'll get emotional, man. These kids have worked so hard, and they've done so much, and they've been through a lot. You know, to win 5 games a year for the last 3 years, and to there was a lot of change that we brought as a staff, and a lot of it wasn't comfortable. A lot of it, man, it wasn't comfortable for a lot of people. But these guys, to see this thing through, I think I enjoyed that moment for our players. And to see them, you know, I was up on that stage. I wanted all of them up there on that stage. I didn't want to be up there. I wanted them on the stage because it's about them. And just so happy for our kids to be able to experience this success. And then for our fan base. They're hungry, and they're passionate, man. This place loves football. That's why I came here. I didn't want to come to a place that was okay being average in football. And this place is not okay with being average in football. I welcome that. I actually love that and enjoy that. So happy for our kids to be able to experience that. It's really the biggest thing that sticks out with me.
One in the back, Coach.
Coach, I feel like you guys were up at 31-0 in the second quarter. Every time I panned my camera to you, you had game face mode. Just what's your mindset, even being up 31-0 as the game's going on?
Yeah, we finish what you start, do your job, play with edge, be where your feet are. I don't ever like to. I'm next play. I mean, just it's how we operate around here, and. You know, I know a lot of people were probably ready to celebrate, but I was ready to finish the game the right way, and I still didn't love the way we finished the game. But yeah, I mean, I don't really ever relax. I'm gonna, you know, somebody asked me, they're like, "Why are you all over the officials on one of the calls?" And I'm like, "Because I didn't like the call." They're like, "Well, it's 31-0." I'm like, "I don't care what the score is. Like, we play the whole game. It's a 4-quarter game. Boxing. I grew up watching boxing. You heard me say that before. Boxing's 12-round match unless somebody gets knocked out. Well. Football's a 4-quarter game. I'm not going to relax until the fourth quarter's over. I'm going to compete the entire time.
Nothing in the back, Coach.
Hey, Coach, it's Jamal from WSFA. Not to maybe make you emotional again, but that moment you shared after the game with your family, I believe your parents, what was that like, you know, just soaking it all in there?
Yeah, I mean, they make a ton of sacrifices for me to be able to do what I do. You know, this is 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365 day job. I got 4 kids that are in here, and my wife, but I got 120-something guys that are like my kids, and their needs are important to me, and their whole person development is even more important to me, to make sure that they become the best they can be. And our families make great sacrifices. And my mom and dad, for them to be here, my brother to be here, very special to be able to share this moment with them, and because they've supported me in so many ways that I'm probably not deserving of.
Just your vantage point on that Rajay catch, what did you think about that?
It looked like the DB kind of caught his right arm, and he went and it almost looked like he was running, and the ball like caught him. Like he said, he caught the ball. I'm like, the ball caught him almost, and he caught it with one hand in his left hand. And I kind of the same way. I thought it was going by him because it was pretty good hose. Gunner threw it with some velocity. For him to make a one-handed catch like that was very impressive. And I'm so proud of Rajay, man. Like we recruited him when he got the job in the transfer portal, and he had a lot of options. And for him to buy into coming to a place that had only won 5 games a year the last 3 years and make this his choice showed a lot of belief in the direction we were going to take this thing. And there's a reason why he was a captain tonight. Our 4 captains tonight, it was Rajay, it was Carlton, it was Cholo, it was Stidham. Well, 2 of those guys were 6-year seniors that have been here the entire time. The other one, Cholo, is a 5th-year senior. All right, and then Rajay, who's a last year player, first year in our program, but last year of eligibility. He earned that because he's been a tremendous leader in our wide receiver room by how he works daily and how he has a great attitude. And he made a mark that will last on this team.
Coach Sumrall, a year ago yesterday, you got hired for this job. You took over a 5-7 program. So many of the players have talked about returning Troy back to the standard that it deserved to be. Tonight, you guys get your 11th win and you win a title. How much does that mean to have returned Troy back to the standing that you guys wanted to get it to?
Yeah, a year ago yesterday is when Brent Jones offered me the job, and I won't forget that for as long as I live. And a year ago today is the first time I had a team meeting in this room right here with the guys about the direction we were about to take this thing. And there were probably some guys, if they heard me talk for the first time, that were like, this dude's crazy. And I was okay with that. But I wanted them to understand that things weren't going to be the same. And we were going to work harder than they'd ever worked. And they bought in. I think they bought in, though, because relationships. I mean, we invest deeply in relationships with our players and care deeply about them. And for them to turn it as fast as they did, I thought we could be good this year. I did. When you get Austin Stidham to come back and Carlton Marshall and all those guys to decide to come back from here, I thought we could be good. I didn't project that we were going to be conference champions. Now, we broke it down on champions every day, but I believe that we could be. But that takes a lot to go right, man. I mean, a lot did go right.
In the back.
Coach, I've been to a lot of Troy football games. This is probably the loudest environment I've been in my 5 or 6 years of coming to these games. Just kind of talk about that. I know you were pushing for it all week, knowing that you were hosting. Just talk about the environment.
Yeah, tremendous environment. Hats off to our fans. Obviously, the Sun Belt Conference Championship game is run by the conference, but to be able to have it at our stadium and our fans treat it like a home game, because it was, and to show up and bring the energy in which they did, I'm so grateful for their support. I love our fan base, man. We've got tremendous fans.
You mentioned those 6 years and 5th years that were there. You were here really when they started their career, and to see them finish on top, what does that mean to you as a coach to be able to see them be on the top and go out on the top?
Yeah, my last recruit before I left here as an assistant was KJ Robertson eating his cupcake over here. All right. And Carlton Marshall, I somehow convinced him to come walk on here when I was an assistant coach here. I was the assistant head coach, linebackers coach, and special teams coordinator, and Carlton walked on here and set my meeting room for really 6 months. Webb Hamilton's who's here. Webb really met with Carlton more than I did as a freshman, because he was on the scout team, and he'd come watch extra tape with Carlton to get him ready to learn the system that we were doing while he was on the scout team, and still get mental reps on what we were doing to learn our defense at the time. But like I said, those guys made a commitment to return when they didn't have to. They could have gone and done a lot of different things. They had different opportunities and options at their disposal, and we owe them everything. They're the reason we had this turnaround so fast, and it's a players' game, man. I tell people all the time, if there weren't players, there wouldn't be coaches. It's about them. These guys, they earned it. They put the work in. I'm just so happy for them.
Coach, you talked about this really being a home game. So to end the season, undefeated at home, how important is that? And, how important was it to make sure that you didn't lose the last game at home of the season? Yeah,
7-0 in the vet this year. That's a pretty strong home field advantage. Great teams have to win at home. If you want to be a great team, you got to protect your house. And we did that this year, and that means a lot.
Last question right here.
Coach, I know you mentioned that you won't watch the film until tomorrow. But, obviously, where do we go from here? How do you keep that momentum going that we saw in that first half into this bowl game?
Well, I got to go recruit tomorrow. So we're going to have a team meeting at 1 o'clock, and then we're going to discuss with our team what the schedule looks like for the next week or so. And then I got to get on a plane to go to Dallas and I think L.A. and then Las Vegas and then Kansas and then Mississippi and then everywhere else. So that's what I'm about to do next, is try to figure out how to replace some of these dudes that we convinced to come back, because if not, we won't be as good of a team as we want to be. But we'll enjoy this tonight. I encourage our kids to enjoy this tonight and celebrate, and I also encourage them to protect the team and make sure I don't have any phone calls tonight that are unnecessary. And then we'll regroup tomorrow at 1. They'll have an academic plan for a week or so, and a lifting plan, and maybe like a leadership council football meeting plan, because the coaches will be on the road recruiting, and we have a leadership council that they lead a lot of things that coaches can't do or don't need to do all the time. It's about their development. The leaders lead it. And then we'll figure out our schedule in regards to which bowl game we're going to, who the opponent is, and I'm sure it'll be fast and furious to – the crazy thing now is with the early signing day for coaches, it's like you're getting ready for a bowl game, you're trying to sign players. I won't sleep for the next, until December 21st or whenever signing day is, and then I'll hibernate for about a week. But it'll be a lot. Our players got to get ready for finals. They're a week out from finals roughly.